Welcome everyone, my name is Molly, and welcome to the BYB Insider. And here is your host, the big guy.
Hello everybody, and welcome once again to the internet's #1 favorite show. This is
my show.
What the blue heck was that? Molly?
Yes, big guy?
Do you have another virus again?
You built me, so of course not.
Well, you're doing a level 1 virus scan right now. And while she's doing that, it's weeks 9 and 10 of the BYB season. We're going to jump straight into week number 9. Here we go. And here we go in week 9. We lead it off with the Guild and boom, Jessica White. Jessica White trying to climb back into the standings after a rough start. And we lead it off and it didn't look any better. Mark Ingram, though, comes through with 24 points, but Nick Foles found himself on the IR. You flip it around, and Rob Gronkowski and James Laurinaitis, the Road Warrior, coming through with some decent scores here. But as we take it to the Guild side, the Guild looking to crush their opponents, and in a word, no. Hello, Phillip Rivers, -7 points. Jeremy Hill, though, 28 points on the flip. You got a bunch of nothing, except maybe Stephen Housegill with 15 points. But other than that, it was complete devastation for the Guild. They lose it big. 95-5 to 67. We're moving on. The Black Angels, winners of 2 straight, come in to face the UPS. UPS trying to get back into the ball game. But for the Angels, we take it in, and Robert Griffin III coming back out of fantasy relevance, but Jeremy Macklin's 33 and Alfred Morris's 24 would power the Angels in. But as you flip it around, now you find out where it all went wrong for the Angels, and you go to the UPS side. It would seem that Thomas Atkins did come up with an answer. 24 points out of Hillman, 30 points out of Julian Edelman, Mohamed Sanu with 20 points as well. You take it to the backside, and you got Julius Thomas coming up with just enough as the UPS boys cruise easily past the Angels, 154 to 114. We're moving on. It's the McConnell Mud Dogs taking on the defending world champion Jared Taylor's Cobra Kai's, and we take it to the Kai side first. And Jared would come clean with Drew Brees and Marshawn Lynch. Those names kind of sound familiar, but not for the Cobra Kai's. More on that later. Flip it around on the back. You got Jimmy Graham and there he is again, J.J. Watt. And as we take it to the Mud Dog side, Tommy Quick trying to put 2 together. Could he get it done? No. Mediocre scores all the way around for Tommy Quick. You take it to the backside, and it's more the same, as Tommy just could not get out of the blocks and get out of his own way, and he ends up losing yet again. 131.5 to 82. Tommy Quick will try to get the 2 for next time around. Libby kicking Hail Mary. Hail Mary on a march up toward the front of the standings. The kicks trying to put the slow down to them. And as we look at the kick side, Peyton Manning comes through with a nice 23-point game. But Pierre Garçon, where did he go? Flip it around, and it's about much of the same for the Let Me Kick boys, as they could not even get out of their mud bog. You flip it into the Hail Mary side, and the Marys come up with the dagger. Hello, Tom Brady, 34 points. Arian Foster and Shoelace coming through. DeAndre Hopkins and Deshaun Jackson with big scores. They didn't get much on the backside, but in the end, it really didn't matter, as the Hail Marys cruise easily over the Let Me Kick boys, 144.5 to 95. We're moving on with the Sex Panther and the Pound Town. Sometimes it's kind of hard to keep a PG rating, kids. Sex Panthers Coming through here with some mediocre scores for Larry Damron. Justin Forsett with a halfway decent game, but nobody else could come up with anything. And you flip it around on the backside, at least the tight end and the kicker would come correct. But as we take it to the Pound Town side, could the Pound Town boys come up with an answer? You better believe it, bud. As you come in with Carson Palmer finding 24 points, ODB with 23. You flip them around on the backside, and you come up with Jason Witten and Adam Vinatieri coming to fantasy relevance, and the Pound Town boys walk off pretty easily. 114.5 to 99 over Larry Damron, and we come to the game of the week presented by Pyrotech. It's Hatfields and McCoys, Yankees, Red Sox, A-Team and out, Muncie and Workman. We take it to the A-Team side. And you know what, kids? It's getting at that point of the season where you're just looking at the A-Team, and the only thing you can say is the A-Team's doing what the A-Team do. Big points coming out of the front end. Larry Donnell coming in with 12. Robert Quinn with 16, and Reshad Jones on the defensive side with 10 points as well. Could Mark Muncie come with an answer? No. Eddie Royal with a big goose egg. Alex Smith now at the quarterback spot did okay, but you flip it around and literally with Kobe Fleener trying to anchor the wave, but when you've got Cortez Allen also with the goose egg, it leads to disaster, and the 3 and outs go down to the Workman clan again. 143 to 94.
Welcome to the War Room. Oh my. I must say that Larry Damron is one handsome man.
Molly, we talked about this. Try to control yourself, okay? It's the War Room, ladies and gentlemen. And as customary, it's all the news and interviews that you could possibly handle in one segment of this show. We got a couple of trades going on, plus we got a wonderful guest. He's standing by, and Molly is literally overheating to talk to him. It's Larry Damron. He's the Knight of Insight. But first, we got a couple trades. As we mentioned a few minutes ago in the rundown here, we had a trade going down between the Guild and the Cobra Kai's, and the particulars of the deal is we got Marshawn Lynch and Drew Brees going from the Guild over to the Cobras in exchange. The Guild will get James Jones and Giovanni Bernard. So that right there should be an interesting deal. See how that one works out. And we have another one on the docket here as Pound Town and the Black Angels hook up in a monster deal. Aaron Rodgers, Frank Gore, and Roddy White head over to the Black Angels. That's right. The Black Angels reunited with Aaron. On the flip side, Jamal Charles and Matt Stafford head to Pound Town. So right there should be some really good action as far as player swapping goes. We'll see how that pans out in the meantime. Speaking of the meantime, we have our guest. He's ready to go. He's on the insanely expensive BYB Insider 5000 and the Skype hotline. It's the Knight of Insight, Larry Damron. Larry, how's it going, buddy?
Well, we are legal in 9 countries, so hopefully we don't lose too many fans and they don't get too disappointed that they don't get to see me.
So, Larry, you're right in the thick of things in the BYB playoff chase. Can you grade your season up to now?
Man. Well, we've been snake bit. We had a good draft, really good draft. Wait a minute, let me stop a second. You see this right here? That's what Tommy Quick's missing. He thinks he's got it. He don't got it. He's lacking. But anyway, back to topic. We had a good draft. Right off very first game, we had Old Michael Evans squeaked by us, and it's been that way pretty much all year. We've had some good wins. We lost to the aforementioned bearded lady of the league, Tommy Quick. He had a good game out of his quarterback, best game he probably ever had. Had a few games squeak by. You had Josh Workman, who finally beat us. I think the last time he beat me, he probably still had hair. You can fact check me on that. But we're playing him again this week, and we got him this week. He's going down. When we do win this week, I want to take out Dill to a nice seafood dinner and never call her back. So, things are looking up. Things are turning around. We're in the playoffs as of right now, the 4th place team, and second highest point scorer in the league. Had some hard times. Had a few bad losses that we shouldn't have lost, but things are coming together, and it's BYB championship bound. Take it to the bank.
Sorry, big guy. Hello, Larry. It's Molly.
Well, hello, Molly.
So, Larry, how do you feel about human interpersonal contact with machines?
Well, Molly, I have seen the movie Her, so I am well versed, and my options are open.
Oh my. That Larry Damron is just so sexy. I think my motherboard is overheating.
Molly, we're going to have a talk. So, Larry, what's the prognosis in the future, buddy? Where are we going to go from here?
Well, like I said, big guy, we are championship bound. We have the team. We had an awesome draft. The only thing that hurt us was the running back number 2, Toby. I don't even have a nice word to say for his last name, but you know who I'm talking about. He let us down, had to drop him. We've been trying to scrambling, have 4 set. I think we'll be okay now. Things are coming around. It's going to be it's championship or bust this year. Everybody else is just playing for second.
Larry, thanks again for coming on to the show, big guy. It's always a pleasure to see you.
You got it.
That's the Night of Insight. That's Larry Damron. We're going to dive into weeks 10. Who's winning? Who's losing? We're going to find that out right now. Week 10, here we go. We started off with the McConnell Mud Dogs and Charlie Brown's Let Me Kick. Let's take it to the Kick boys first. The Kick's trying to get back on the winning swerve, and they got some good totals from Peyton Manning, Le'Veon Bell, and Steven Jackson. Although the wide receiving core came a little soft, as we flip it around, it didn't get much better for Charlie Brown. Single digits all the way around. Could the Mud Dogs come back and try to put themselves on the winning edge and maybe go for that elusive twofer next week behind? Well, it looked good in the beginning. Roethlisberger, Murray, Brandon Marshall with big score. Mike Wallace also getting into the act. You flip it around and now you find the difference. Greg Olson, big defensive effort and even a double-digit kicker. And it all leads to disaster for Let Me Kick as the Mud Dogs take them easily. 141.5 to 101.5. We're moving on to the Cobra Kai's and Boom Jesco White. Boom, kind of getting a little bit better here, but the Cobra Kai's trying to get back on the swerve, and when you're getting 41 points from Marshawn Lynch, folks, it makes the job hard for anybody to beat you. Drew Brees also kicking in. Jimmy Graham chipping in with 29. But seriously, can you call 29 chipping in? Even the kicker got in, and the Boom Boys, could they have an answer? And in a word, no. But Julio was down by the schoolyard with 19. His counterpart, Brandon Cooks, 22 points. You flip him around. Michael Rivera, who? 19 points, but it just wasn't enough as the Kais walk off easily. 153 to 113 over the Boom Boys. Moving on to the Sex Panthers and the Black Angels. The Sex Panthers, Larry Damron's boys, as he said in the promo, looking for yet another victory to get back in the midst. But when Aaron Rodgers goes off for 48 points, Frankie Gore, Terrence West, Roddy White with 19 points, the Angels not making it easy. But when you flip it around, the backside looks a little weak. No tight end points or linebackers. Let's see if the Sex Panthers had an answer. And in a word, yeah. Dual 33 points from Dez and Jordy. Justin Forsett kicking in with 23 points. But when you flip it around, now you see the difference. Big time points coming from the kicker, and it put the Panthers over as they skate by the Angels 138 to 130. We're moving on to the 3 and outs in the Guild. And Michael Evans and Mark Muncy one more time. Kick it off to the top from the Guild. As we fire it up, at least Ryan Tannehill scored some positive points. Mike Evans, big 25-point game. Flip it around, and you come up with, well, not much. But hey, Hauschka still kicking around with 8 points. We're looking for some positives. And here's the 3 and outs coming at you, and would Mark Muncy have enough to get around? Well, you're getting 20 from Eddie Lacy. Boy, it's nice having him back from the fantasy dead, isn't it, folks? You flip it around, and Mark Muncy came up with a big 17.5 game from Marcel Darius, and it was good enough to push the outs over as they take a 108-79, the Guild, on a 4-game slide. The UPS boys and Hail Mary, 2 of the 3 members of the Workman clan going at it. We start off with the UPS, and the UPS has not had a great season. And when you're looking at point totals like that, it's not looking any better. Flip it around to the defensive side, at least there were some signs of life there from Alec Ogletree and Julius Thomas, but it really didn't amount to much. As we take it to the Hail Mary side, Jacob is on a roll here, folks, and could the good times roll for the Hail Marys? You better believe it. Shoelace coming through with 19. Megatron returns back from the injury list with 24. You flip it around, even Jared Cook gets into the action, 16 points. DeAndre Levy with 11, and it all ends up in a UPS beatdown. 125.5 to 95, and we're on to the game of the week. Presented by Pyrotech, it is the Pound Town and the A-Team. The A-Team still trying to hold on to first place in the power rankings. We're taking it to the Pound Town side. As we come in, we see Ben Tate coming through and Jamal Charles in his debut for the Pound Town coming up with 20. No points from Terrence Williams. That one ended up being a hurter, but Jason Witten comes back with 15. Would that be enough to stop the juggernaut known as the A-Team? Really? Demarius got 21, but no points out of Cutler. Sims down on numbers. Antonio Brown with his weakest output of the year. You flip it around, and the news didn't get any better for the A-Team, so maybe the A-Team don't do what the A-Team do as they get upset. 96.5 to 86, and we take it to the power rankings. Right up top, the A-Team and the Cobra Kai now find themselves tied for first. Right on their heels, 1 game back is the Hail Mary, and then you see the Gaggle at 5-5 as there are 10 teams within now 3 games of one another. The standings are completely bunched, and as we see the 3 and outs trailing with Boone Jessica White falling far behind, but the season's not over. So that's going to do it for this episode of the BYB Insider. We're glad you guys tuned in. Join us again in a couple weeks where we go through weeks 11 and 12 of the BYB season. The playoffs draw closer. But for this episode, we're out of here. I'm the big guy.
And I'm Larry Damron of the Sex Panthers. Go fuck yourself, BYB.
And that's a cut. I'm acting stupid. Damn.